We are seeing premiums for gold and silver at levels I have not seen in a long time. Why is this, and does the premium make it the new spot price? Hey everyone, welcome to Campbell's Coins. Last July, I asked if spot price is relevant. My 3-point argument was that it was not. This argument included price manipulation, United States and global monetary policy for the last 50 years, and my feeling that gold and silver's value exceeded its dollar spot price. When premiums for metals exceed spot price and regular people can't buy gold and silver for near spot, it would seem the premium is the new spot price. This is basically the bullion dealer's sales viewpoint. But if you were going to go sell, they value your metals based on spot price, not premiums. At certain points in time, like 2008, 2020, and what might be happening right now, demand is actually helping you as the seller by bringing you a higher sell price for them. My LCS mentioned that they are seeing an uptick in gold purchases, and they don't have some gold, like gold bars. This demand, coupled with a dwindling mint supply, leads to higher premiums for gold eagles, buffaloes, and silver eagles, but only in the short term. The mint will ramp up 2023 production soon, and those will be released in January 2023. This supply flood could bring premiums back down, but if geopolitical tensions continue at this rate, we could see premiums on all gold products rise. Spot price fell for a good portion of August and September. The main perpetrators behind this fall were an increase in the perceived value of the dollar. Sometimes there is an inverse relationship between the value of the dollar and the value of gold. Not always, but sometimes. In the past few months, this was certainly the case. The dollar's value is certainly high, but we are seeing a huge jump in gold's price. Why is that? Saber rattling. Nothing drives up the prices of precious metals more than geopolitical tensions. We saw this in 1979 and 1980, a steady increase in gold's price from the early 2000s through 2008 until it exploded with the financial crisis. In 2020, we hit new gold highs, and in February 2022, with Russia invading Ukraine, gold hit new all-time highs. What's really interesting to me is the drop in gold and silver's price since February 2022. The tensions between nations never went away. The financial situation we had in 2008 is still going on today. In fact, both these issues have gotten worse, yet gold and silver dropped to 2019 price levels. I think what irritates me is the manipulation of facts or ignorance of facts. One thing that I've seen dealers and channels do is talk about a shortage of silver or a shortage of gold, or sharing articles talking about vaults being empty. What's interesting is these dealers' channels have a solution. A recently received shipment of $4 over spot silver rounds. People panic and go out and buy what they can at very high premiums. These dealers have people on their channel who beat the doom and gloom message. The message that their guests are saying, I typically agree with. A lot of what they're saying is true. However, they tie it in with precious metal shortages in the quote-unquote vaults. They tell you to buy immediately because shortages are coming. If I had a gold eagle for every time I heard the vaults are empty, well, let's just say I would have a lot. I don't agree with what they are doing because they are purposely striking right at the heart of people's FOMO. They are taking advantage of this ambiguous ignorance. Yes, there are shortages, but there are legitimate reasons for those shortages. Are these FOMO calls and premiums justified? I would call it about 50-50. Yes, the threat of nuclear war looms, but I also think that major online dealers and those to gain from high bullion prices are stoking fears with articles about empty gold and silver vaults, causing people to panic. Google empty gold vaults or empty silver vaults. You'll see articles going back to 2012 about empty vaults. Yet I managed to buy gold and silver in the last decade. It's really strange how that happens. Remember in June of this year when Uganda announced the massive gold find that they had? The total amount of gold in this supposed find was more than all the gold ever mined in human history. I would think that they would be able to verify this by now. Point is, articles, channels, they can all be misleading on purpose to achieve some end. Every fall, a shortage of American bullion occurs. This year, it looks to be a little bit worse compared to previous years due to demand. Silver mines produce silver. Refineries refine that silver for mints. Mints, either public or private, produce silver product for consumers. Miners produce silver at certain price points, and when spot price drops below that production price, there isn't an incentive to produce said silver. You wouldn't work for free, especially for ungrateful people who just have their hand out. Miners don't either. This creates a drop in supply. A drop in supply means the mints receive less silver to make products. When you tie this into a mint's production schedule, it appears the mint is running out of gold and silver, when in reality, they are just winding down production to start up 2023 products. These large dealers are unable to buy new eagles at low pricing because that supply is drying up. They can buy secondhand eagles from the public for a cheaper rate and pass that on to consumers, but I still don't see this happening. Millions of silver and gold eagles and buffaloes are released mid-January through February to bullion dealers. I don't know how easy it is for the US Mint to switch to the new year. The only thing on the bullion coins that change is the year, so they are just swapping out dies in the machines. The gold and silver planchets aren't changing, but again, I don't know if the Mint has established a transitional period so that errors are not made. Salivate Metal covered why Silver Eagle premiums are going up, and you should definitely check out his video. People who have been stacking for the last decade or more know that premiums have not been this high for this long. Premiums would spike, but only for a very short term, and then they would definitely deflate. I think this is why we see a lot of veteran stackers complain about prices and have a more wait-and-see approach before buying. They are used to products with much smaller premiums. I've been stacking for close to 20 years, and one has to adapt. You can't shake your fist at $7 gas from the gas station and cry out, "It used to be 50 cents." Things changed. You must change. I think we are seeing a shift in the metals market, a divide growing between the premium and spot price. I don't like it, but unless I open a gold or silver mine, there isn't a whole lot I can do. I don't want people to buy out of FOMO. I don't want people to do nothing. I've seen channels give a very calm, almost disinterested approach to stacking gold and silver. They are against the fear-stoking thumbnails and video titles, yet ironically they do it. They tell folks not to worry, but they are still accumulating gold and silver. They have a bug-out location. They have stockpiles of ammunition, food, firearms. I don't think that you should do nothing. I don't think that you should panic. I think it's okay for channels to have a doom and gloom approach. And I think it's okay to take a dispassionate stance. Buy at a reasonable rate, commensurate with your budget. With premiums as high as they are on all popular gold and silver bullion coins, I like to shift my focus to gold and silver bars. I've told you to buy silver eagles, and gold buffaloes because those are the most liquid and popular here in the United States. But when premiums get too high, I tell folks to find something else. I haven't recommended silver eagles for at least the last year for this reason. Premiums on bars are much less, but they are still higher than normal right now. Yesterday, my LCS quoted me 175 over spot on AGEs and gold buffaloes. Gold maple leafs were about $75, and as I mentioned before, they were sold out on gold bars. I think it might have been a rare moment in the past, but I don't recall a time where 1 ounce gold had a premium over $200. Just a couple weeks ago, it was at $125, and even that was high. The premiums today are just nuts. I'm not claiming to know everything. Maybe there will be a massive shortage like we saw in 2008 and 2020. It just feels like a faux shortage tied into the drop in mint production and geopolitical issues designed to drive prices and premiums even higher. As with everything, time will tell. Your time is your most precious asset, and I appreciate you spending it here with me. Thank you all for watching. This is Campbell's Coins, and that is my 2 cents.